Learning how to texture your game assets can be very confusing, and if you do it wrong, it can actually lead to worse performance for your game assets. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through my exact workflow that I use to efficiently texture all of my game assets inside of Blender. Let's just hop straight in. Now, if you had a model like this, the standard way of doing it is that for each separate color in a model like this, you would have a new material. So you see over here, like this section would be black, this is yellow. Like you would have in your material list, you would have material, blah, blah, blah. Now, the problem with this is the fact that with game engines, they don't like having a extreme amount of materials. The more materials you add, the more images you add, the more etc., the worse the performance is. And this can just be simplified down into a unified method instead of having literally hundreds of materials sitting in your asset library. Because if you have a bunch of assets, then that leads to a massive material stack. I've worked on very small game environments, and if you do this method, it's really a nightmare to manage and very confusing to use. But how do you actually solve this? Well, there's actually two levels. One that gives you a little bit extra flexibility and one that is a little bit simpler. Now, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this originated from a concept called UV atlasing, or at least that's what I call it, or found it from YouTube, or whatever. So UV atlasing is essentially when you have a image that is a grid of all the different colors that you could use. Now, you can do this just by painting the specific colors you want, or you can just get a preset color grid that will have all the different hues, different shades, different saturations, whatever that you would need to texture something. So let me show you what one of those would look like. So if I open this up here, I have a couple different color grids, but if I open this one over here, you'll see that we get an image something like this. And this is a 5x5 grid. Each of them has 10 pixels, or it's like 10 by 10. And the top to bottom is the value, which is how bright it is. And then left to right is the saturation, which is obviously how much color versus how much white is in it. But how do we use this? So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to take your model, and the easiest setup for this is to take your view, split it in half, just drag down the center and add a UV editor. Okay. Now, if I've obviously already set this up, but what you would do is you'll see that like everything over here, other than one object that's somewhere in our scene, has been scaled down into a tiny little block like this. Now, the way you do this is like you can select everything, go tab to go edit mode, and then I'm just going to go U and a cube project. Okay. Now you see everything is currently looking a bit weird, but what you'll do now is take everything, scale it down, all the way. So let's go here, and I'll usually just slap it on like a gray or something. And then once you have your color set up, then you can go to each one and then just take the parts that you want to use. You could just go like select it, the whole thing, and then just shift it. So if you want to go for your specific color, or you could go even select separate parts of your mesh. I'd recommend that you keep this little triangle, like two-way arrow thing off. If you have it on, then you'll see like it might sometimes stretch the like faces. If you have it off, you are guaranteed to have, will be less stretching or less likely to happen. But essentially you go through select your bits, and you can, you see, just easily move it and choose your color. Now, the upside of this is every single model is going to have the same image and the same texture. Now, by the way, if you want to learn how to make some cool little assets that you can actually go and texture, then go check the first link in the description, which has my Gumroad, which has a bunch of courses and some free assets for you to download. Let's go back to the video. But if you do this method, then you're not going to have a huge amount of control over your roughness and stuff like that. So the way that you can take this to the next level is by going and creating a separate image texture that will control your other different like values or whatever. So in this case, it's going to be roughness. So the way to do this is, if you see here, I've essentially made a grid just by duplicating this image texture 4 times. And what I've done is I've gone and created 4 cubes that will go on top of this of differing levels. So the way this is useful is if I go swap all of these out, I'm going to go to my shade editor. I'm going to go change this palette. I'm just going to go to the setup, go color.jpg. Okay. So over here, gone pink, but that's probably just because of where it is on the image. I'm going to select this, duplicate, and I'm going to go open the roughness. Now I can plug this into roughness. It's not actually going to work by default. What you have to do is change this from sRGB to non-color. That's I had an issue with this when I first set this up, but essentially change it to non-color and your issues will work better. Basically, it's just applying a view transform, which is changing how the colors of this black and white image work, which we don't want. But essentially now, if we go to the UV editor, you'll see, let's open the color.jpg. We can go pick colors again. And if I go make this, like, we'll select everything, scale it down and put it like on a blue. So if we have a blue here, you can see it is currently quite rough. But if I take it to the bottom right, you can see now it's shiny. Okay, and also it's all one material. So this is the much simpler way of setting this up. And you get a lot more control, and you can still only drive this with 2 image textures. And if I go to the file, you can see that both of these are literally a couple kilobits each. So for under 1 meg, we can have our entire character shaded, or entire game. We can do this for whole environments. I've started setting this up with some building packs, some asset packs. Possibly going to sell some asset packs if you want to ask any questions or give me some suggestions for what you would look for in a game asset pack. And yeah. Okay, now once you've done this, you can go export your model as a FBX. And when you drag it into your game engine, it should have that specific material. If you exporting everything to the same thing, you could do whatever, or you could just remove the materials when exporting. Okay, it doesn't seem like Blender supports removing materials when you export as FBX, but if you take your model, export as FBX, and then pull it into your game engine, it might come with the material, but then just set up one material inside your game engine that has your image, has your roughness, has anything else you can do, like an emission, your alpha, central, like all of that kind of stuff. And then you can go apply that to every single model in your scene. And this will cut it down so you have literally one material. And all you have to do is just update your model's UVs inside of Blender if you want to change any of the colors. So really nice. And you could go expand upon this. You can even just make a few different instances. So you can make a like see-through one, etc., and then just have 4 materials that just covers your entire game if you don't want to use that separate second image setup. But yeah, now if you want to grab these images, I'll leave a link to them so you can grab them down below for free, and that should help you out a lot and help you texture your game assets. Now, YouTube thinks you enjoy this video, so click over here to watch it now. See you.